Hello, the internet, and welcome back to Road Hazard. On today's episode, we're getting this 1976 Chevy El Camino ready for power tour. For those of you that may live under a rock, Hot Rod Power Tour is America's favorite rolling car show, and also its biggest. It's been happening since the mid-90s. I think 1995 was the first one. Well, we're getting ready to do it again. It's coming up here in June. It is, as of the day of this recording, February 26th. The list of stuff we have to do is pretty short. This car is already mechanically pretty solid, runs, drives, stops. It's a daily driver, and I treat it as such. But regardless, Waffles and I are here at the shop today to create this list and knock a couple of things off of it that we're going to want for Power Tour. And luckily, since we're starting with a car that's already pretty well sorted, we can focus on stuff that's just going to make us more comfortable and preventative maintenance-y kind of stuff. So here's what we've got on the list. First thing, air conditioning. This is a factory air conditioning equipped car, however, it does not work. We're also going to take a look at the brakes on all four corners. I already know that they all work like they're supposed to. They're all getting the amount of pressure they're supposed to. I just want to make sure that we've got enough life on the rear brake shoes and the front brake pads to go ahead and survive the many, many miles of driving we're going to have to do on the tour. We're also going to take a look at all of the fluids in the car. And then we have a couple of rattles I want to attend to. That's the tailgate and the driver's door. And then I've got a little asterisk here on cooling. And this car does not have any cooling problems. It runs 190 or less in all conditions, in any heat. It's a fantastic car. I've never tried running it in the heat with the air conditioning. Now, luckily, I live in Florida, and that means it is 47,812 degrees even in February. Now, what that means for us is I'm going to be able to fix this air conditioning and then run it in the temps that we're going to see on Power Tour this early to find out if we have any cooling problems like idling with the car with the AC on, and if we do, we'll add an electric fan, like a pusher fan or something, to supplement the cooling in the car, because it already has a nice aftermarket aluminum radiator. And last but not least, for mechanical-y stuff, I'd like to put a set of tires on the car. That's our list. This list may grow as we go. It obviously will shrink. Hold on to your butts. It's your 10 seconds of intelligence here on Road Hazard. We're going to talk about General Motors air conditioning systems. Most notably, the 3-year window when it was terrible, 1974 to 1976. This being in 1976, we just missed the fix that they actually came up for this system, but we have it in a box right over there. So let me explain a little bit why these systems fail, especially with the refrigerants that we use today, and how you can fix it. So this is the part of any 74 to 76 GM air conditioning that always fails right here. This is called the VIR valve, valve in receiver valve. It's like CAC card. I don't know why anyway. This unit here is specifically engineered to run on R12 refrigerant, and unlike most other systems that can be converted, which technically this one was supposedly converted, we'll get to that in a minute, it will not run on R134A, the newer style refrigerant. And the reason for that is the valves in these, the King valve, the TKX, they lock up with the newer style refrigerants. They'll seize and they won't operate, and they blow up like this one did. Now, this car was converted to R134A in the way that a lot of old cars were when they got quasi-restored, which is basically they just drained all the stuff out of it, filled it with R134, changed the O-rings, put the little new valve things on it, and called it a day. Unfortunately for the VIR style air conditioning, that doesn't actually work. It'll blow cold for about 3 seconds and then explode, which is what this one did. So we don't have to change the hoses, we don't have to change the compressor, any of that stuff. We just need to change this valve here with a new unit called a VIR eliminator kit. And what that does is you remove this unit
and install a new style one that is a more modern style valve, and is set up to work with R134A refrigerant. And then all you have to do is bolt it in, and you've got functioning air conditioning. So that eBay box right over there is from the parts guys. It was $219 for the kit, and then it was like $15 for tax or something like that. I think shipping might have even been free. But so basically around $250, you're just going to get you the kit to fix this for any 1974 to 1976 AC system. In a General Motors anyway. I don't know what the years were for other manufacturers, but I know that they make these kits for other manufacturers, so they were using stuff like this. I know Ford, Mercury, Lincoln, Cadillac, etc. Up here are the vacuum lines that we're going to fix. You trying to eat your leash? What are you doing? Oh, you are eating it. What are you doing? I call that the boof retention system. It's just the leash is attached to the old garage door track, so he can roam around. It's like a 50-foot lead. That way he can't run away, but he can hang out. Because I like having him here at the shop with me. Because he's a good boy. So what I've got for the job we're doing today is a few cans of refrigerant, a new heater control valve, and this bad daddy, which is the VIR Eliminator Kit. Can you smell? No, stop. Let me open it. Sit. Stay there. Good boy. I have no idea how any of this stuff works. I trust the fact that it will, because I'm stupid. This is from a company called Old Air Products, and they sell you this whole kit that comes with all of the doodads that you might need in order to install. And the best part is it also comes with the little valves and stuff. So if your car has a completely stock air conditioning and has not been converted to R134 yet, good boy. It comes with all of the O-rings and the little valves to make that conversion happen. I really don't know what I'm doing. So if you at home are like, wow, I don't know what I'm doing, congratulations, we're gonna learn together. Thank God. Instructions and wiring diagrams, we're gonna need that. Evaporator outlet, suction hose, accumulator top, oh Jesus. Eliminator block, oil bleed line. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. There you go. There's the page. You got that? Cut the green wire. Oh God. Oh, we have to do wiring. Step one on the instructions is just remove old thing. I think I can handle that one. I think I have all the wrenches I need to remove all these different valves and stuff, so I'm just gonna start twisting stuff and hope for the best. Step 2 says put this on there in the same orientation as the other one. So we're gonna do that. Oh, it hits the damn bar. I knew this wasn't gonna go smoothly. Perfect. When in doubt, Jeremy Clarkson.
Now that's what I'm talking about. How to build a car.
Problem is the diagram on this side and the one on the other side are labeled differently. So I just decided that this one was correct. And I put the wires for the switch in this line here. So the power wire from the clutch usually just goes right to there, but I cut it and it goes to one side of the switch, and then the other side goes to the other side of that wire. Which is the way it's printed there, so I think that's correct. I guess we're gonna find out, but before I start the car and do all that stuff, because it's nice and cool now, I'm going to pull the nub of the old heater valve off and install the new one. This is probably going to spray antifreeze all over the place. Oh, it's not that bad. It's gonna, yeah. It's still coming out. This would be easier if I took the air cleaner off. You've got to be shitting me. I have to take the valve cover off to install this? I'm definitely not taking the valve cover off just to install that, but I do want to install it. So I have this. I'm going to thread that in there and then just shove a piece of hose over that end and over the end of the valve. And that'll effectively push it up to like there, and then it won't be a problem, because I am not doing that. No sir. And that's why you never throw anything away, kids, because that is from the Buick. Alright. It's a sharp knife. Hello. What are you doing in there? There we go. Technically, is that another failure point? Yes. Technically, do I care? No. Oh, there's a clamp. I'm so stupid. Why did I get another clamp? Oh, for that, never mind. I am stupid. I'm the dumbest man alive. Intelligent conversations hate to see me coming. There. I'm a genius. That's the stupidest thing I have ever done. This is a stroke of genius. I think everything is hooked up properly. We've got this in line, vacuum. We've got that guy vacuumed into manifold vacuum. This is wired in. Everything's connected. I think everything's tight. I think this is the part where we try it. And this is the part that scares me. But everything is bolted together and functional. Unfortunately, there is quite a lot of play in the AC belt. So I'm gonna probably need to replace it with one that's a little bit shorter, like 1/2 inch, because this is maxed out right now. I just tried to put the factory rear bracket back on it just for stability. Not that this actually moves around, this is a pretty stable setup, but just to put it back where it was before. And it hits the edge of my thin valve covers that I put on there. So that means we're not going to use it because I prefer the valve covers to having that other bracket. We've got some wetness going on right down there, as you can see. It's the return hose for the power steering, I think. So that's probably going to fall under fluids on our checklist there. But focusing now on air conditioning, I would like to show you my genius. Behold my intelligence in action. Are you beholding it? I'm the smartest man alive. Here's why, okay? Like most products to come out of this era of automobile, everything here, except for this heater, or the heat control, is powered by vacuum. And even when properly plumbed, it might barely work. And this one doesn't. Partly because A, this thing has a hog cam in it, and the engine doesn't make a ton of vacuum, which is why there's a vacuum pump. And B, because I'm sure there's something wrong with all of the, or one of the vacuum switches that control it. So what I've done instead, because my HVAC system is permanently stuck on floor, is create this beautiful contraption out of cardboard and Gorilla Tape. So it securely mounts to the foot vent, but you'll notice, if you can see it, it doesn't block the little side ports on either side. So air does still come out the sides into your feet. Got to keep the toes cool or hot, depending on what you're running here. And then I have so expertly attached 2 vents, one for passenger and one for driver. So you're driving along, la 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 la, oh, it's a little hot, let's go ahead and put the air conditioning on. And then it goes and blows a bunch of cold air out of these 2 vents, because none of these work. Unfortunately, that includes the ball vent. No ball action on this air conditioning. Well, there's my genius. Are you beholding it? Behold. Yes. It's not the coldest AC on the planet, but it is functional AC, which makes it the best AC for this 1976 Chevrolet El Camino. Next, we're going to address the squeak coming from this wheel. It's been doing it for a while. I kind of thought maybe it was wheel bearings, so I replaced all 4 at the front, but it's still doing it. So what I'm going to do now is pull this off, pull the caliper off, pull the hub off, all that nonsense. We're going to have a look in there, make sure everything's copacetic. If it's not, we can re-grease them and throw them back in. I'm also going to put new brake pads on the front, just in case that's it. I'm almost positive it's not. The alignment on this car sure is good though, I'll tell you that. Possible that my made in China wheel bearings might have just kind of failed, but I don't think that's it. I'll say that worked. Hit me in the neck. I know you're not supposed to do like 2 fixes at a time to see what really fixed your thing, i.e. brake pads and re-greasing these, but A, nothing bad came from freshly packed wheel bearings, that's just the truth, and B, nothing bad came from fresh brake pads. Oh, Nick, doesn't your hand get raw doing it by hand? Yeah, it does. But you see, there is a surefire way to keep going, you see, after your hand gets raw. Be a man. Drop that bearing in there. We're going to leave all that excess on there so it can kind of work its way in there. And then we'll take the stuff that was left on our finger and lube up the spindle. It's going to take more than a couple of paper towels to get all of that grease off of there. That's okay. Can't be afraid to get dirty. That's where all the good work happens, once you're filthy. You can wear gloves doing stuff like this. I won't judge you much. I'm just kidding. Some people really don't like grease and oil on them. And actually, you know, truth be told, I'm one of those people. I hate being covered in grease and oil. But I hate wearing gloves even more. So, pick your battles. Right. Got the rear bearing or inner bearing in. Just gonna lock that seal back on. Probably wipe the dirt off of this, just, you know, in case. Nick, you can't use a ball peen to put that together. Watch me. Always a good idea to make sure there's no lubricant on your brakes. I feel like I don't need to explain why. Here's something cool. Sounds like a V8 motor. Just need to adjust preload. And we are good to go. Feel pretty good about that. Done. I'm not gonna pull these bearings and re-grease them because this side's not making any noise, but I am gonna double check the torque on the bearings themselves while we've got the caliper off, changing the pads. I have a whole box full of SK and Snap-on stuff sitting right off camera. Still using Pittsburgh. Same story, pretty even on the pad wear. That's good. Okay. All right. With that back together, we're gonna drop the car on the ground, take it around the block, and hope and pray that we have fixed it. Because technically there was nothing wrong with this side, but
Surprise, surprise! Clip corrupted. TLDR, it worked. No more squeak. On to the rattles.
that's the rattle. Just gonna put a couple of washers behind that guy to push it out slightly.
Perfecto.
For this one, we adjusted it, and then we took a vacuum cap, cut the end off to make it a sleeve basically, and put it over to help soak up that difference, and perfect. No more rattly. Close is good.
Happy with it. Next up on our chore list is floppage delete.
On the AC belt there, that's maximum tight, and it's super loose. It's actually rubbing on the bottom of the water pump. It's way too loose. All three belts have been removed. The power steering belt and the fan belt, alternator belt, both looked really good. No cracking or nothing like that. They're not that old, pretty pliable still. They're both Gates belts, that's good. Our AC belt is an ancient Motorcraft belt, and it is coming apart. Very exciting, we're changing belts. Woo!
No more floppage.
It may have taken a few tries. We got there. No floppage. What we've got here, icebox from Summit. is more stuff pertaining to the air conditioning system for the El Camino here. I know I made a comment previously about the cooling being okay, and technically yes, I have been running it the past couple of weeks and the car is not overheating. When it's stopped on a hot day with the AC on, it gets up to about 205, 210, and it stays there, which is hot. I'd really like it to be less than that. So what I did was bought a couple of these Proform electric fans. They're supposed to be like 1,000 CFM of air, which is probably bullcrap, but you know, we'll pretend that that's true. And a painless wiring kit with a probe that turns on at 195 and turns off at 185. So we have fan controller, 2 fans. We're going to mount these little 10-inchers to the front of the condenser and wire them up so that whenever we get to that temp, 195, they both kick on and suck some more air through the condenser there and the radiator to keep the air cold and the coolant cold. The other thing we did is we got a idle speed solenoid. This you wire in line with your compressor, so whenever the AC compressor kicks on, that little plunger comes out and holds the throttle open slightly further to keep the car from lugging down and dying. I have had that problem sort of with this setup. It lugs down to like 300 RPM, which technically is still running, but if you breathe on it wrong, it dies. So we're gonna throw this on there and give that a test real quick, and then we'll worry about these after. I have no idea where that goes. And here's the setup. It bolts to these 2 little accessory bolt holes on the body of the carburetor, little bracket. Big nut, threads on, holds it there. This little plunger is actuated by the compressor wire. I have it just wire nutted and taped in there for now, in line, so that whenever the compressor receives power, kicks on, the plunger extends and pushes this forward slightly. We do need to get the engine hot to properly adjust it, but it's really easy. It just threads in and out. Pretty straightforward, actually. I was expecting more difficult. The only other thing I had to do was relocate my throttle return spring to the bottom side of the bracket, because coming forward the spring was binding up on the bracket here, and that was no good. So we just put it there instead, and it works. I think I have it adjusted to about perfection. I'll show you how it works. AC's off. Plunger's in, no power. It's not touching. We turn the air conditioning on. Hear it bog down. So we come out here and blip the throttle. That's how the plunger moves. And now it holds at the desired RPM, which should be about the same as it is with the AC off. In the case of this car, just under 1,000. And then turn the AC off, it de-energizes, and it retracts. Pretty simple. It was dummy proof enough that even I could do it without reading the instructions, so pretty good.
Oh, Nick, why did you get the car hot right before you have to install fans? You're gonna burn yourself on the radiator.
No, I'm not, because I'm not doing that today. What will be mere seconds for you will be hours for me. So with these Proform fans that I bought, they can be pushers or pullers. They come out of the box as pullers, traditionally. And you have to flip the fan blade around. I've already done this one. But it's actually way easy. The instructions are kind of outdated, I can tell, because they say like there's like C-clips and all this other shit. In reality, take a 10 mil and loosen the nut on the back of the fan blade. I think they updated the design after they realized that nobody wants to mess with C-clips. Gib. There we go. Pull it, flip it, and put it back. Make sure it's nice and tight, because you don't want the fan blade to come off and ruin your radiator, or in my case, the AC condenser. I removed the radiator holding plate to give myself some room to get the fans mounted up, and I was like, oh cool, whatever, nest, you know, kind of expected that. What I didn't expect was that gigantic one in the middle of the radiator. Yeah, that is impeding flow. I had to move some stuff around to get room in there, but we've got both fans securely mounted now. These pushers. They're not wired yet, obviously. They're just kind of installed on the what's it called? Condenser. That one. I'm gonna put all this back together now because we don't need to get back there to do any of the other stuff. So I'm gonna reassemble the disassemble that we've got going on here. I'm kind of rushing because it's supposed to rain today, and I wanted to get this stuff done. So we're trying to, there we go, get as much of this complete as we can. As I always say, any progress is progress. Even if you only do one teensy little thing a day on your project, it is better than not doing anything at all. Even though I prefer kind of doing a lot of stuff all at once, as I've said before, it is still better than nothing. I did all the work we did today with wrenches and a multi-tool, as if to prove you don't need fancy stuff to do stuff. You can be a moron with very basic, cheap tools and still do stuff. Dang it. You know, the real reason I did everything with these wrenches, it wasn't a statement at all. It was because I was too lazy to go grab a toolbox. And these are just the wrenches I keep in the car. Fans are in place. Now we just gotta wire them. I'm gonna try and keep our feet moving here. I can't remember if I've said it or not yet, but I got new tires. Phantom AP, made in Vietnam, high quality. Anyway, I'm gonna try and keep our feet moving here until the rain starts. I know it looks sunny outside, because right now it is, but this is Florida, so it's gonna rain. So we're gonna try and drain some water out of this, so when I pull that fitting out of the top, it doesn't just leak everywhere. I knocked the camera over. That's cool. Put that back. All right. And we'll drain it into this bucket here, this bin, and then we'll just dump it right back in the motor. Does anybody else have to pee? don't know how much to take out before the water line is underneath the part of the manifold that we're going for, so we're just gonna go till it stops or fill the bucket. How about that? Oh, cool, we got enough out. Bam. Drip that into there. I don't think we're gonna be able to get this 100% like wired today. Well, with the rain coming, but we sure will make a good dent in this install. Definitely saved wiring for last because I don't like wiring things. Right about there. Give that sensor somewhere to go. We can refill the radiator now. That's on there and see if it leaks. Don't worry about like the weird brown color. That's the color it's supposed to be, okay? I'm a professional. At least I think it's brown. I'm colorblind. Okay. So it's kind of butch, but the wiring harness is installed. I'm glad I got the painless kit, because that was really painless, pun intended. But it's in. So basically, there's like 5 instructions. It's super simple. You just run a wire from this circuit breaker to the relay, one to the battery. You run a wire to your fans, obviously. Then you run ground for the fans. This gray wire goes to a keyed 12-volt source, which I'm using off of the wiper motor. And then you run one black wire to ground to the temp switch. The other one goes to the relay. And then there's a ground. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. All I have left to do is take the self-tappers that are included in the kit. How about that? And buzz that to the fender and that. Just ignore the spaghettious nature of it, but you know, it's fine. Dang it. Dang it. I think we're done. Cool. We have successfully wired and installed fans. I think. Need to test it. We need to get it hot. Unfortunately, for some reason, today, it's chilly. I was wearing a hoodie up until a few minutes ago. So I don't think we're gonna be able to do that today, but, well, there's always tomorrow, or the day after. Who knows, is what I'm saying. It's Florida. There's no guarantee. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this episode of Road Hazard. We did quite a bit of little piddly nitpicky kind of stuff to this thing. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every like, every comment, every subscriber, every one of you, honestly. Do me a favor while we're talking about it and hit those buttons for me. It really does me a favor. And to let you know when new videos come out and show you in your algorithm. You know, if you want to do me a favor, that'd be great. And well, we'll see you guys next time.